Hitchhiker's Guide for Software Architects, Legacy Migration with Strangler Fig Pattern. As in every good fairy tale, it starts with once upon a time. It was roughly in the 1990s, 1980s, looking at quite some young faces here, so that's usually also for you, once upon a time. There are other people that then start to moan and say, it's not that. And they were two smart men. They had a very good idea at that time of a digitalization of a very complex process. Because it was the rising of computers, and it was in the area of one of those three big things: administration, financial services, telecommunications. In that area, really, where you have still today running quite bespoke and quite old software. And what they did is, well, they saw a field where they had a fully analog process. So really handing paper from A to B. And if you hadn't access to that paper, you couldn't work on that case. So what they did is they electrified the process. External said, yeah, we need the new software. We can't stay with that version anymore. Because if you try, if you still come around today with the idea of having something on-premise installed manually in an audited environment, that leaves question marks. So they were there under siege. And really, that's the thing, the company was in the mud. And how do you start? Well, there are two main concepts, and that's a part of this talk. The one is software migration, also called Strangler pattern, and the software architect elevator. Those are the two main concepts I can really recommend if you have old code that you need to migrate and you're really under pressure. So the value of a modern software architect, modern architect, is measured by how many floors they can cover, by Gregor Hopper. Do not say or assume that somebody has bad intentions. That's really mostly not the case. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. And possible reasons are prioritization of short-term goals or short-term wins over long-term growth. Who has seen that in his company or her company? Yeah, that's one of the things. And the other part is, there are good reasons to go into technical depth. At the beginning, if you look at this graph, you have on the x-axis the time, on the y-axis the number of features, in blue the development time without technical depth, and in red with technical depth. At the beginning, you're much faster. And if you're a startup and you need to meet some criteria, that's totally worth it. There are good reasons to go into technical depth if your company doesn't survive otherwise. So you have gotten the task, fix that old software, migrate it to something more modern. A few people get it. Treat first what kills first. I mean, there is no need in getting the newest feature if you still have log4j in your application running. Really, treat first what kills first. And new features promise, but if the tech stack is outdated, the other part, use a Strangler pattern. So far, we had the idea, okay, what is a software architect doing? How is he starting? And now, treat first what kills first. And if you try to migrate your old software, use the Strangler fig pattern.